morning, guys. It's May 20th. It's been a while since I last recorded. It's been close to a month. I think the last video I did was like April 23rd when we were starting to strip till. But right now I'm over at 278 cutting on or switching over pivots up here. We got all this planted about 5 days ago and we're constantly watering it until we can get a good stand. So I'm over here switching them over to the half pivot over here while Daddy and them get fuel up there to the strip till and planter up there at Montmorency. First thing we gotta do is open up the pipe that leads to the half pivot over there. If you have none open whenever you have the well running, you'll blow some pipes apart in the ground. So you gotta make sure to always have one open if you have the well on at all times. Now we got to run over to the pivot that is on, which is that pivot right out there, the smallest one here. We got to go over there, close the valve on it, and then finally go to the one that we want to cut on and get it going. The only bad place about up here is it's a lot of back and forth to get the pivots running here because everything's running off one well. If there was multiple wells, it wouldn't be as bad, and you could run more than just one at a time. But it's better than no irrigation, that's for sure. So since I'm over here, I figured I'd check out some of the cotton that's starting to crack the ground now. Like I said, it's been about 5 days or so since it's been planted, but everything's starting to crack the ground now. This is what it's looking like so far. It's looking pretty good. It ain't coming up as good as I thought it would be since we've been watering it. It's been 5 days, but it's coming up. It's always good to see the cotton actually come up, because it's one of those things where it's one of those things where it takes just about everything to be perfect for it to come up good. So I'm over in the only field here that isn't irrigated, and it's starting to crack the ground here, and this was planted a day later than the irrigated parts. So I guess compared to this, you can't complain about the other one. This field here doesn't get any water on it other than rain, but it's consistently cracking the ground here. I'd give it probably a day or so and it'll be up. I'm over at the pivot that we're gonna turn on and start walking. So this is what the inside of a pivot panel looks like. You got all your different switches. But with this one, it's a half pivot, so it has stops on each end so it doesn't make a full circle. So whenever you go in here to set your depth of how much you want out, you have to divide or half the time it says it's going to take to make a round. So we're going to walk it in reverse to go ahead and switch our switches. We want water on. This switch right here will, if the water for a well quits working for whatever reason, your pivot will stop, so you know where it stopped watering, so you don't have to try to figure out where you stopped. But we're going to change our reverse depth, so we want about 12 hours or so, 11-12 hours before we have to come back and switch it over. So we're going to do 0.59 of an inch, which is 23 hours, which take half of that, that's about 11.5 hours. So this done here, so some of the pivots here don't have your digital display, it has a dial, so you'd have to come down here and look at your chart to figure out how much you want to put out there. But this one has the digital thing, so you can kind of so all you gotta do is hit start, and you gotta hold it to get it off the stop back there. But once it's off, it should be good. So that's all you gotta do to run one of these things. So now we got the pivots walking. We're gonna head up to Montmorency and hopefully start planting. All levels are good. now that we've made a round, we're gonna get out and make sure the seed's being put in the ground and at the right depth. Looks good here, so I'm gonna check a few more rows and make sure they're all looking good. And if so, we'll be back in business. So a few of these rows are not putting it deep enough, so I'm gonna go and put them all one notch deeper. We'll put it 2-2 on each one and do that across all 12 rows and check it again. So that last, moving it down that one notch deeper seems to be doing the better job. I'm having to run 2.5, I don't know how well I can see that, but 2.5 mile an hour right through here is how hard the ground is. If you run too fast, your hoppers will be, all your row units will be bouncing up and down and throw the seed on top of the ground, which you don't want. So it's gonna be a slow process up here. It's always hard up here, and we ain't had rain in probably 2 weeks now, but good enough rain to be able to soften the ground out. So one thing we have to do up here is downforce spring, because around home it's a bunch of sandy fields, so we completely disengage or put on the loosest setting. Just gonna put it on the second notch here. Notice anything missing? I found it. It was just up the field, halfway up there. It just fell off, so no harm done, but now I gotta put it back on. Since that one came loose, I'm gonna go back and check all the others so we don't lose another one. There's about 3 or 4 more that were loose, so I went ahead and tightened them, but we're back going again. I got, I don't know, probably 5 more acres before I finish this field. Then back to a big field. That's about a 50-acre field, so hopefully we can get there pretty soon. I'm still having to run about 3 miles an hour, even with the downforce springs tighter, so, but it's definitely making a difference. It's not, the hoppers ain't hopping around as bad as they were. So I just got in the bigger 50-acre field now. Hopefully I can finish this and another 30-acre field today before I run out of seed. It's gonna be close. I only brought 12 bags of seed up here today. Let's throw the drone up and get some clips. Hopefully I can get the strip till running too. I just about got this field finished. I got about 5 acres left, but I ran out of Timic and nobody else is up here with me, nor do I have any Timic up here. So I'm just gonna call it for a day and get back after it in the morning. It's Sunday the next day. I'm up here getting the sprayer to carry up there to spray some pre-emerge. We got a little rain last night, so we're gonna move this up there and let it dry off just a little bit so we don't have any problems with it sticking to the gauge wheels. How well y'all can see that or how well y'all can hear me, but we left the sprayer where it was at for a few days, the past few days, while we were strip tilling and planting up there in Montmorency. And apparently somebody tried to break in the sprayer. They broke the latch for that back glass, which I didn't even know this sprayer had that back there. I got in here, started it, and went to leave, and noticed it was louder than normal. I looked back and the latch is broke, so I took some duct tape or Gorilla Tape, whatever you want to call it, and tried to shut it as best I can so it's not too bad as if it was just wide open. But this will be a loud and obnoxious ride now. And they're calling for rain later today, so we got to find something to do about that so no water gets in the cab. But I'll see you when we get up there. Finally made it up here. It don't appear that anything's stolen out of here, and it could be that nobody broke in, it just happened to break while nobody was in it. So I'm in the big field, or the field I was in yesterday now. Got about 3 passes left. I just got to get to that little field row right there. And then we'll be done with this field, and I think that'll be close to about 120, 30 acres done up here. And then we'll move further down the place, and hopefully we can get 100 or so acres knocked out today. They're calling for rain a little bit, so there will be no spraying probably today. Sorry, my camera died, but like I was saying, doubt there'll be any spraying today. They're calling for rain around 1, so we're gonna try to get as much planted, hopefully about 100 or so acres done before the rain gets here. Once I get out of this field, we have a 50 acre field and a 10 acre field that I should get done, and then we're into big open fields from there on out with the 12 rows. So we're getting close to the end here, probably 400 acres maybe left. So hopefully we'll get some rain in the next few days also, which I'd be fine if we can't plant for a few days, just because it'd help out a lot with the rain. If we did get an inch or so of rain, I wouldn't be mad if it put us out for a day, just because it would really help things along, help get the cotton up. But right now we're at the mercy of Mother Nature, just about like every year here. Every year it gets dry towards the middle and end of May, and then after that you'll get a bunch of rain. The next few days we're going to be full force. I'm running the 12 row planter, brother's running the 12 row strip till, and then daddy's running the 6 row planter and strip till that we use for peanuts. So we got 2 planters running. Hopefully we can knock this out pretty quick. So we made it to we finished that field, finished another 30 acre field, and now we're in one of the bigger fields we got left. Still having to run about 2.5, 3 mile an hour. This was strip tilled yesterday, so it's not as hard. But we were going to try to strip till the 70 acre field just across the trees right there. But that was way too hard, so we ran the field cultivator on a smaller 11 acre field right next to it, and he's stripping that now. So I don't know how much more we'll be able to strip today. It's only sprinkled here a little bit. I haven't done anything, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any rain today, and possibly none tomorrow. So we'll probably go end up catching the strip till and then having to wait on the rain. Cruising along. It's starting to get dark everywhere around here. So we're gonna go ahead and put some trash bags over the Timic hoppers. So if it does rain, we can keep planting until it gets too wet, because these Timic hoppers on those Timic hoppers on this planter don't seal real well. We need to put the newer style tops on them, but we haven't got around to that yet, so we're just gonna put trash bags on them for now. Now that we put the trash bags on, it probably won't rain, but that's part of it. This is exactly what I mean when I say it's all around us. It's quite literally formed a circle around our location, which is that blue dot right there. Now, it's not a bad thing for it not to rain when you're trying to get your seed in the ground, but when you have the conditions like we have up here, you almost won't rain every few days up here, or it's gonna get hard as a rock like it has been since we've been up here. Look at how dark it is right there. And I'm willing to bet that we don't get a drop of all of that. It's gonna go around us. So I got a few row units low on seed, and we're trying to run all this variety we got out. So I'm about to take the ones on the wings and put in these 3 right here that are a little low. And then hopefully I can get close to finishing this side of the field right here. So I put some seed in the hoppers, hopefully enough to get to the end. Literally just got a little bit farther to get, so hopefully by then. So fingers crossed we got enough to get back to the end. Well, I stand corrected, it's starting to rain now. It's been about 30 minutes since I last looked at the radar when I was saying that it ain't gonna rain. It's starting to come down good now, so I'll probably be done once I get to the end here. Hope I have enough seed. I'm just glad I got out and moved the seed around before it started raining, so I wouldn't have to get out in it. It feels good to see it raining pretty good. Just hope it hangs around for a while and actually puts a ½ inch to an inch, preferably more, out, so it'll soften this ground up. Well, I've pretty much made it to the end without running out of seed, so I'll probably call it here now. It's raining a good bit now. It's raining pretty good, so I'm not even gonna get out and try to put the new variety of seed in and get it moved around, so probably call it here. But it'd be nice if it rained a good bit to where we won't be planting tomorrow, just to give the ground some time to soften up. But thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you in the next one.